Hey guys, John here again with a second look at Star Wars Battlefront, this time on Xbox One. Thanks to EA Access, we've been able to enjoy the Battlefront experience from the comfort of our own home this week. This also means that it's been possible to maximize the player count and really get a feel for how the game holds up under pressure. What you're seeing here is a 40-player Walker Assault match on Hoth. This is the largest scale battle in the game with the maximum number of players, yet performance stays well north of previous dice shooters on the platform. From what we've played thus far, we're looking at a fairly stable level of performance with dips into the mid-50s as you can see here. The game overall feels consistent during gameplay, but these small drops definitely do crop up in a number of instances, leading to a slight feeling of instability. The area in and around the hangar seems to be one of the choke points still here on Xbox One, but the average frame rate remains slightly higher than what we saw in the beta. The improvements made to DICE's Frostbite engine are in full effect here as well, with an incredible material system, very natural lighting, and fantastic effects work, all of which are present and accounted for on all three platforms. Of course, one of the key trade-offs made in the journey to consoles is resolution. Just as with the two previous Battlefield games, Star Wars Battlefront operates at 1280 by 720 on Xbox One. The anti-aliasing solution has been beefed up since then, with less noticeable shimmering than Battlefield 4, but it's still clear that 720p just isn't enough to really support all of the finer details in the game. Moving on to Endor, let's take a look at the speeder training mission as it appears on Xbox One. Just as we saw on PS4, this mission looks absolutely beautiful in motion, and it manages to maintain a solid 60 frames per second throughout. It really is a sight to behold, even if it's fairly narrow. It really makes us pine for a proper single-player game set in the world.
Narrow canyons up ahead. Taken out.
Next we have the Walker Assault on Endor. Here we see a few performance dips right out of the gate, but thankfully Lord Vader comes along to clean things right up. Maybe the Force unlocks another Jaguar core on the CPU. Seriously though, Endor is one of the most beautiful environments in the game, and outside of a few select instances, the game does a good job of holding 60 frames per second on Xbox One. The sheer amount of action happening within such a dense forest environment really impresses. This might just be one of the most beautiful environments DICE has ever created for a game. Of course, it's here that the 720p resolution on Xbox One stands to become more of an issue. With the amount of detail in the environment, we noticed plenty of pixel popping that detracted from the presentation. Still, in the pursuit of 60 FPS, it was clearly a necessary sacrifice. While we're here, we also wanted to touch on the audio quality. Playing on our home 7.1 setup really helps demonstrate just how impressive a job DICE has done with the audio portion of Battlefront. Sound has always played a huge role in its games, but hearing those familiar Star Wars audio bits fed through the DICE sound machine brings it to a whole new level. Sound effects make very active use of all channels, while the classic Star Wars soundtrack slots into the game just perfectly. Next we have another section, this time on Tatooine. The lighting here is very natural and really helps sell the environment. There's something incredibly authentic about the look and feel of this game. Performance holds up nice as well. Here we see a few drops that quickly dissipate, and then we're back to a fairly steady level of performance. Alright, so I'll go ahead and leave you with some extra footage to enjoy in the meantime, but the bottom line is that performance is looking good on Xbox One as well. We cannot really draw a comparison between PS4 and Xbox One just yet without putting them side by side though. Clearly the PS4 delivers a higher resolution, and our tested footage came in with an even smoother overall frame rate. But until we've played with the full 40 players on PS4, it's impossible to say if it can really hold that level of performance throughout. Still, regardless of your preferred platform, Battlefront is shaping up very nicely for day one, on both consoles. Performance is very much where it needs to be, and the game looks incredible in action. With the amount of optimization that has gone into this version of the game, we also can imagine that the PC version will be quite solid as well. We'll have more on the game coming soon, but in the meantime, be sure to check out the rest of our stuff on YouTube, including the PS4 performance analysis. Until next time though, this is John signing off.
Fast. Be on the lookout for a drop pod.
First pod is down. Move on its location and capture it.